who I was terrified of and admired as a young boy growing up in the mean streets of Laurelhurst. And who allegedly stole my BMX bike in 1977. That's a true story. Not in his book, though. So he's now one of my greatest friends, and I don't hold that against him, so. Please give a warm hand welcome, Seattle. Clap your hands for yourself.
I want to thank everybody for coming here. There's a lot of you people here, and this, and I really want to thank Kris for assenting to do this thing. I'm really quite honored here. We wore our suits. This is Kris' idea.
What we wanted to do is make a good impression, and so, because I'm going to be interviewing Duff, and so, like you know, remember David Frost, the interviewer? He interviewed Nixon, Robert Kennedy, he interviewed people over years, and so, you just want to jump into the interview right now? You want to do it?
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is set the tone for the evening, and just have this like really serious, like sophisticated question, okay? And so here's my question. Like, there's all kinds of music out there, right? There's jazz, there's like new age music, there's blues, there's opera, country western, okay? So with your book, why did you choose to write about rock and roll?
Great question. That's a barnstormer first question.
Do we have your book here, by the way? Where's the book?
Right here. Ladies and gentlemen, TJ.
Okay. Well, that was a good answer. So here's another good question. Okay, so the book is called How to Be a Man, right? And so like in the news, like, you know, Bruce Jenner's in the news. And so how did you get interested in transgender issues?
Well, yeah, for years I hid that I was actually not a man in Guns N' Roses, and I'm finally writing about it. I was a woman, and I was dressed as a man.
You were the only woman in Guns N' Roses?
I was the only woman in Guns N' Roses.
You did it so well.
Until tonight, Kris.
That's amazing.
You guys will keep it a secret here in this house.
Well, you don't have to keep it a secret because it's the whole transgender thing.
You're right.
You know, so I was reading in your book, and there are these kind of like steamy. There's a steamy moment in there, and It's like in this locker room when you're on tour and first of all, you have this like bromance going with your tour mate, you're like shoe shopping, out buying clothes, trying clothes on, and you go back to the hotel and you're doing these stretches, and you're all like sweaty and kind of in your gym shorts. And, did you read this part of the book? And the hotel manager walks in and just goes, whoa. I guess he got a rise.
Yeah. These are riveting questions.
Yeah. So I haven't been on tour in a long time, and like that way. Like I did some shows here and there. Thank you, Dave Grohl. First class tickets, just top notch, backstage environment, this and that, catering, all this and that. But so you went on tour to Europe and you were like slumming it, and you were writing about those vans. The splitter van. What the heck is a splitter van?
Okay, so like for me, touring is what I found and why I wrote about it in this book in this particular way. I went from this fancy first class tour of Kings of Chaos of South Africa and Mexico, and I'd done it before. And you fly, everything's nice. You got moist towelettes when you come off stage. You got anything you want to eat. Basically, you're staying at really nice hotels. It affords me the opportunity to have my wife and kids come down. It was Thanksgiving in Mexico City. But I had the impending Walking Papers tour. It was a really good tour. We were building up our band. And this tour in Germany, we were opening for a big band through Europe. And it was a good opportunity for us. But I really hadn't thought about it too much before I went from this really nice luxury tour. I mean, it's still touring, you're still traveling. But I went from this by wife and Susan and the girls, and down the elevator and out to the airport. Flew for about a day and landed in Dusseldorf, Germany, and suddenly the moist towelettes were gone. The van was 4 hours late in getting me, and I got in the van. Finally, the van gets there. A splitter van is there's a driver and a passenger seat up front. There's kind of like this little family compartment in the middle.
When I read that, I was surprised that they still had those, like the technology had evolved. Like we were in Nirvana, and then we would have these splitter vans where the seat doesn't go back, you're in the back, and the seat doesn't go back. We would start our gigs in the United Kingdom, and then we'd go into the continental Europe, and so we'd have these like right-hand drive vans. So like you can go like deliver mail. They were like driving a mail truck. And I always hated them because like, how are you going to pass somebody you can't see, but have the passenger to look to pass somebody?
Well, you had the rest of us in the back to tell you if you could pass. Go now. The gear's heavy. So,
and how are you supposed to pass out? But those days are over.
Yeah.
It was like, that was the big problem with those upright seats, is like you couldn't pass out.
Yeah. And I'm past the days of doing this stuff where it would make me pass out. So I got in the van, it's Dusseldorf, Germany, and I go to recline the seat just to chill. It was a long flight. We got a gig that night, and went to recline the seat. There was no lever. So I realized the seat's never going to go back ever. And we're in this van for the next...
It's like being on the exit row in a plane where you can't
see
the exit rows behind you.
Yeah, and so 2.5 weeks I realized, and I was getting sick, and but why I really wrote about that particular passage was not to show the difference between touring styles, was that I really realized, even getting sick and all that stuff, it was really about that moment on stage, that thing that you invented out of thin air, those songs out of thin air, and you brought it across, that case, the Atlantic, and people connected with those songs. And I realized I was turning 50. This book's kind of like this sort of turning 50, where am I at, where are we at as men book. And I realized that it didn't matter how I got there or if there's moist towelettes or not. It was about that time on stage. And it still means that much to me.
Yeah, like not being a prima donna.
That's it.
Everybody sit down. We'll play by ear. So I'll play a song, you just kind of play along. Let's see if you get this one.
Where's the one on that, Kris? What is that?
It's chopsticks. Everybody knows chopsticks. All right. Let me think about this. We're just going to